The 2026 World Cup draw just happened. Trump stood on stage pulling balls from bowls, and somehow Ronaldo's Portugal landed the easiest group in the entire tournament. Coincidence? The internet is exploding with conspiracy theories that Trump rigged Cristiano Ronaldo's final World Cup. But here's the real story. Portugal is actually terrifying right now, and this might genuinely be their year. Let's break down why. Portugal has come close before. Euro 2016 brought the trophy, but the World Cup's still missing. This time feels different. This isn't about one superstar carrying the team. Portugal now has world-class talent in every position, and 2026 might finally be their moment. Let's start with Diogo Costa in goal. At just 25 years old, he's already a hero. Remember Euro 2024? He saved all 3 penalties against Slovenia in the shootout. The first goalkeeper ever to do that at a European Championship. This season for Porto, he's kept 9 clean sheets in 12 games with an 84% save rate. That's elite level goalkeeping when it matters most. The defense has transformed completely. Ruben Dias brings Champions League winning experience from Manchester City. Next to him, 22-year-old Nuno Mendes is already one of Europe's fastest fullbacks at PSG. Portugal's backline isn't a weakness anymore. It's a foundation teams can't break down. But the midfield, that's where Portugal has become scary good. Vitinha pulled the strings when Portugal just won the 2025 Nations League, beating Spain in the final. Bruno Fernandes just scored a hat trick against Armenia in November. He's got 5 goals and 4 assists already this season for Manchester United. These aren't just talented players, they're match winners who show up in big moments. The attack is loaded with firepower. Rafael Leao hit his 50th Serie A goal for AC Milan this season and scored twice against Real Madrid in the Champions League. He's explosive, unpredictable, and at 25 entering his prime. Alongside him, Joao Felix, Goncalo Ramos, and others give Portugal options they've never had before. And then there's Cristiano Ronaldo. He'll be 41 at the World Cup. In 2024 alone, he scored 43 goals for club and country. He just scored his 954th career goal with a bicycle kick in November, the same type of goal he scored for Real Madrid 7 years ago. His role has changed. He's not the main man anymore, but his hunger still there. That mentality could be the difference in a knockout game. What makes this Portugal team special isn't just the names, it's the balance. They can control possession or hit you on the counter. Young stars like Leao and Mendes mixed with experienced winners like Ronaldo, Dias, and Fernandes. Portugal just won their 3rd major trophy, the Nations League in 2025. They know how to win when pressure's highest. The 2026 World Cup is Portugal's best chance. Every piece is in place. The question isn't ability, it's whether they can deliver when the world is watching. When Roberto Martinez took over Portugal in January 2023, he promised tactical flexibility and modern football. 2 years later, he's delivered exactly that, and the numbers prove it. Let's talk about their qualifying campaign first. Portugal won all 10 matches in Euro 2024 qualifying. All 10. They scored 36 goals and only let in 2. That's not just dominance, that's historic. Only 8 national teams have ever finished a European Championship qualifying campaign with a perfect record, and Portugal just became number 8. So what changed under Martinez? The system. Portugal now plays a 4-3-3 formation that turns into a 3-4-3 when they attack. Here's how it works. When Portugal has the ball, their defensive midfielder, usually João Palhinha, drops back between the 2 center backs. This creates 3 defenders at the back instead of 2. Why does this matter? Because it gives Portugal more control when building attacks from defense. The pressing is where things get interesting. Martinez uses what's called organized high pressing. This means Portugal's players push up the field together and trap opponents before they can even build an attack. In the 2025 Nations League final against Spain, Portugal's pressing was so good that Spain, one of the best passing teams in the world, struggled to get the ball past midfield. Portugal won that final on penalties and became Nations League champions for the 3rd time. Martinez keeps his defensive line high up the field, which brings his players closer together. When players are closer, passes are quicker, and opponents have less time to react. Portugal ranked in the top 5 teams in Europe for winning the ball back in dangerous areas. That's a huge advantage. Their possession game has improved massively too. At Euro 2024, Portugal had 64.8% possession and a 90.4% passing accuracy. But possession isn't just about keeping the ball, it's about what you do with it. Portugal now finds their attacking midfielders in the spaces between the opponent's defensive and midfield lines. Bruno Fernandes and Bernardo Silva position themselves in these pockets where defenders can't easily reach them, creating chances that are hard to stop. And here's the genius part: tactical flexibility with Ronaldo. Martinez can start Ronaldo as the main striker, move him to the wing, or bring him off the bench. Against Slovenia at Euro 2024, Ronaldo played the full 120 minutes. In other games, Gonzalo Ramos started instead. The system works either way because it doesn't rely on one player, it relies on the structure. Portugal's defense has become rock solid. Ruben Dias and the backline know exactly when to push up and when to drop deep. Against Spain in the Nations League final, Portugal's defenders successfully followed their opponents and limited threats on the wings. Even when Lamine Yamal, one of the best young wingers in the world, tried to attack, Nuno Mendes shut him down repeatedly. This system gives Portugal a real chance to go deep in the 2026 World Cup. They can control games with possession, hit teams with fast counterattacks, press high when needed, or sit back and defend leads. They're not predictable anymore. They're adaptable. And in knockout tournaments, that's everything. Martinez has built a machine. The question now isn't whether the tactics work, it's whether Portugal can execute them when the pressure is highest and the stakes are everything. The 2026 World Cup draw just happened, and Portugal got placed in Group K. Let's break down what this means for their championship hopes. Portugal's group includes Colombia, Uzbekistan, and a playoff winner that won't be decided until March 2026. The playoff could be either DR Congo, Jamaica, or New Caledonia. Let's be honest, this is a very good group for Portugal. Start with Colombia. They're ranked 13th in the world right now, which makes them the toughest opponent in the group. Colombia just made the Copa America final in 2024, where they lost to Argentina in extra time. They went 28 games undefeated under their coach Nestor Lorenzo before that loss. Colombia has dangerous attacking players, and they're physical, meaning they won't be pushed around easily. But here's the thing. Portugal has better players in almost every position. Bruno Fernandes and Vitinha control midfield better than Colombia's options. Rafael Leao is faster than Colombia's wingers. Portugal's defense with Ruben Dias is more solid. Colombia will make it tough, but Portugal should win this match if they play their game. Then there's Uzbekistan. They're currently ranked 50th in the world, their highest ranking in 9 years. They just qualified for their first ever World Cup, which is a huge achievement for them. They won the 2025 CAF Nations Cup, beating Iran 1-0 in the final. But let's be realistic about the level difference. Uzbekistan qualified from Asia, where competition is weaker than Europe. They're organized defensively and won't give up easy goals, but Portugal has way more attacking firepower. This should be a comfortable win for Portugal if they stay focused. The playoff winner will be the weakest team in the group, whether it's DR Congo, Jamaica, or New Caledonia. None of these teams are ranked in the top 70 globally. Portugal should win this match without breaking a sweat. Here's why finishing first in the group matters so much. The 2026 World Cup has a new format with 48 teams instead of 32. The top 2 teams from each group advance automatically, plus the 8 best third-place teams. That creates 32 teams for the round of 32, a brand new knockout round that's never existed before. FIFA designed the bracket so the top teams don't play each other too early. Spain and Argentina, the 2 highest-ranked teams, were placed on opposite sides of the bracket. If Portugal wins Group K, they'll be placed in a specific section of the bracket that avoids the absolute strongest teams until later rounds. If Portugal finishes first, they'll likely face a weaker third-place team in the round of 32. Teams that finish second in their group have to play group winners, which means facing teams like Spain, Brazil, or France right away. That's a massive difference. One path could mean playing Uzbekistan-level teams in the first knockout round. The other path means playing tournament favorites immediately. Look at how the bracket works. The tournament splits into 2 sides, top half and bottom half. Group winners get favorable placements that keep them away from other group winners until the round of 16. If Portugal wins their group, they control their destiny. They avoid nightmares like playing Brazil in the round of 32 or facing Spain in the round of 16. Portugal has everything they need to top this group. They're better than Colombia on paper and in practice. Uzbekistan and the playoff winner shouldn't pose serious threats. But here's what matters most. Portugal can't afford to slip up. One bad game against Colombia, one underestimating Uzbekistan, and suddenly they're finishing second. And finishing second changes everything. The knockout path from first place gives Portugal a real shot at the final. They'd avoid the absolute killers early, build confidence through winnable matches, and peak when it matters most in the quarterfinals and semifinals. That's the ideal tournament run. Okay, let's talk about something interesting. The draw ceremony happened today at the Kennedy Center in Washington. Donald Trump was there, front and center, pulling balls out of bowls alongside Tom Brady, Shaquille O'Neal, and Wayne Gretzky. And somehow, Cristiano Ronaldo's Portugal ended up with one of the easiest groups in the entire tournament. Trump literally drew the United States card during the ceremony. He was actively participating in the draw, and what happens? Portugal gets Colombia, Uzbekistan, and a playoff winner. Meanwhile, other groups got absolute nightmares. Let me paint the picture for you. This is Ronaldo's last World Cup. He'll be 41 years old, his final chance at the one trophy that's escaped him his entire career. The man who's won everything: 5 Champions Leagues, 5 Ballon d'Ors, the Euros, but never the World Cup, and the universe just happens to hand him the perfect group when Trump's standing on stage helping with the draw. Fans on social media are already going wild. Trump saved Ronaldo's World Cup. Trump made sure his buddy CR7 gets an easy path. The conspiracy theories are flying, and it gets better. FIFA President Gianni Infantino and Trump have developed a close relationship, with Infantino visiting the White House multiple times, and Trump is expected to be the first ever recipient of the FIFA Peace Prize during the ceremony, a FIFA Peace Prize, created specifically for this moment, given to Trump. At the draw ceremony where Portugal coincidentally lands the softest group. Look, I'm not saying Trump rigged the World Cup draw, I'm just saying the optics are fascinating. Portugal avoids Spain in the group stage, they avoid Brazil, they avoid France, they get Uzbekistan, a team making their World Cup debut, and a playoff winner that'll be ranked outside the top 70 in the world. What are the odds? And the timing. Ronaldo announced this would be his last World Cup, then the draw happens with Trump's center stage, then Portugal gets the easiest route possible. It's like someone wrote a Hollywood script. Let's give the aging legend one last shot at glory. Roll credits. People are saying it's just luck, random chance. The balls fell the way they fell. But come on, when you have Trump, Infantino, and a brand new FIFA Peace Prize all in the same room, and Ronaldo's team gets the dream draw, the internet is never letting this go. Is it rigged? Probably not. Could Trump have influenced anything? Who knows? But does the whole thing look suspiciously convenient for Portugal and Cristiano Ronaldo's final World Cup run? Absolutely. But of course, it's all just a coincidence, right? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Can Ronaldo finally win the World Cup? Make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss my next video.